Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Rob Bragdon from East Hamilton Radio. Nice to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you brought some cool little gadgets here for us today, and the focus is, and I think a lot of times the focus on our show is spending more time outdoors. Obviously here at TERRA, this is what we like to do. So trying to stretch out those seasons and spend lots of time outdoors. And with that, we're trying to create that outdoor environment. So everything you have inside, take it outside, thus adding, of course, to all the wonderful decor that we have, music. Because
Right.
music makes us feel good, music sets the mood, and you have some ideas for us.
Absolutely. There's a lot of solutions now for your outdoor living space. And I think we'll start with kind of a traditional wired speaker. Now, this category has grown immensely. This is one option. It's a rock speaker. There's probably 6 different colors, flavors, depending on what you've got going on.
Yes.
I use one of these myself. It blends right into the garden. You
pretty
don't even know
awesome.
you have it.
No.
It's really cool. Now that would wire to your existing system inside. And a lot of people go, oh no, wires, I gotta run wires. We do all of that, so we can remove that part.
Yes. You know what? Because right away, as soon as you said that too, I was like, oh, but you're right. You guys do that stuff.
We
So
can take care of all of
don't
that
have to
very
worry.
clean. You won't see the wire, and it stays outside. I've had mine for 5 years. It's never left the backyard. So winter, summer, rain, yeah,
Oh,
they're
really?
great.
So you
Yep.
keep it out all weekend, all winter.
Yep, if
Oh,
you want.
wow, okay.
Yeah, great if
Okay.
you have a hot tub and you're using it. You
Absolutely.
know,
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it fits well. From there, probably the simplest solution is a Bluetooth speaker. Fully portable, 20 hours of battery life. It's weatherproof, so if you have a pool, hot tub, you want to just bring this out, set
Yes.
it on the deck, and listen, it happens to get knocked into the pool, no problem.
You're okay.
You don't want to swim around with it underwater, but
Right.
this can be submerged without issue and still play. So anything you can Bluetooth, so anything networkable, your music services, your library of music, radio stations,
Yes.
whatever you want, you can play through your iPhone or your tablet onto this without a wire.
Now, there are lots of different versions of these from the tiniest little speakers
Yeah.
now, but as you're saying, that is something that's very resilient to the outdoor conditions because people have lots of little versions of them and some of them just don't work
Yeah.
or blow out in 6 months, so.
If you're going to take it outside,
Yep.
you want to make sure you get something a little bit more robust, something that is weatherproof, because accidents happen.
Yeah.
You're outside on the deck.
Oh, it's lightweight too.
Yeah, they're pretty handy. They're great for travel as well, camping. This is a little bit more of a multi-purpose. You
Sure.
can use it outside, but in the backyard, but really anywhere.
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea. Take it camping.
Yeah,
And
they're
it
a great
looks like
solution.
a little more
Travel.
industrial, right? But
Yeah, you can drop it. You can, like
Sure.
I say, it can get wet.
Nice.
It's a little
cool.
bit
I
more
like that one.
robust, but limited with range. Okay, because of
Okay.
Bluetooth does have
Right.
limitations that way. So as long as it's close by, no issues whatsoever.
Okay.
About 15 feet, I would say, is
Okay.
your range on that. So
Yeah.
not too bad.
Good.
Okay, now the most exciting thing that's happened in our world of music lately is the network product, and I brought some Sonos products today. They are by far the leader in this category. They've been doing it longer than anybody else, and it works every
It's
time.
awesome.
It's very good. Yeah, we all have it. It's great. And there's a lot of different types of products. The Play product, which is their portable type stuff. So they have a Play 1, they have a Play 3, which is in between the two, and a Play 5. This is their biggest.
Okay.
As far as product that you'd want to carry outside and use outside,
Yes.
and then bring it in when you're done. It's
Right.
not. This is not weatherproof. You can't leave it
No.
outside.
Okay.
And it does need to be plugged in. Unlike the Bluetooth speaker, which is a battery-operated rechargeable, this needs to be plugged into Hydro.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
But very cool. I said network product. What that means is you're able to stream, whether it be your library of music, any music service that's available to us today in Canada,
Yeah.
which is your Spotify's, your songs, D's or RDI, and they have virtually millions of songs. And
Yeah.
if you've,
That's amazing.
it's very cool. You have people over, you've got your iPad or your tablet out, and you're on these services. You can have fun, pass it around, search. What do you want to hear? And if it's not on there, it's
and
an
any
esoteric.
radio station in the world, like you have access to everything. So
Every radio station in the world without reception issue,
Right.
because it's all coming through the network,
Sure.
which is pretty
so
cool.
fun. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I still use on my Sonos, I use my playlist a lot of times just because I'm listening to the stuff that I want to hear. But as you say, when you have having people over, you want to sort of bring more diversity to your music. So whatever the theme may be, you could just bring it in. You could have like a full Mexican theme and stream in Mexican music.
Yeah. It really is a lot of fun once you start playing around with it.
Right.
The other cool part about this is you can see there's very little control on the top.
Right.
It's all done from your iPhone or your Android or your tablet. Even a touch that has network ability, it allows you to control everything. So your volume level is controlled. You don't have to walk up to it. It's the little things that make it very, very easy to enjoy. It's not a complicated system whatsoever. You know, a lot of people hear that network word and they go, oh, no.
But it's literally an app on your phone, right?
Yeah,
and you access
free
it,
app,
a free app, and you just go in and play around with it. And
you can group, so you can have these throughout your home. You could have different zones in your backyard. You know, you've got your sitting area, your dining area, your hot tub, fire pit, whatever.
Right.
You can have these all over and control these zones separately. You could even play different things on the different zones.
I didn't know that.
Control. Yeah.
Oh,
You've
I
got,
told you I don't know
Yeah, you've
everything
got to
about
grow
Sonos
your
yet.
family a little bit, and then you'll be able to play around with that.
I have to get more beyond just my one room that has a pretty awesome speaker in it, but I would like to have access to be able to take it outdoors, and as you say, then you can play a different style of music outside.
Yeah, you know, if somebody's inside watching TV, it doesn't limit you.
Yeah.
You know, you're really flexible. This is a neat piece. There's two. This is a Connect. So that if you've got an existing system, you've got an outdoor system already, you've got outdoor speakers, you would connect this to your receiver, okay, and it becomes a Sonos system now.
Awesome.
So you've still got control with your app to control everything that's going on in your backyard. Very cool. There's another version of this that has an amplifier built in. So if you don't have a receiver, you can still get into this type of a system. It would control, say, a rock speaker. So if you wanted to go with a more conventional, you know, maybe a little bit better sounding system, you can use the Connect amp and connect it directly to those outdoor speakers and now have all the flexibility of Sonos.
And that's what people at home right now are saying, oh, you know, I've invested in those, or, you know, I want to because I really like the look of those, then they can do both.
Absolutely. You don't have to do this type of product.
Nice. Yeah. You know, you guys carry every kind of amazing product, you know, at your store, and it's fun for people. You remind people that yes, you can have your music outside, and it can sound great. You don't have to. We've come so far with this world, right?
Yeah, it you know, because of products like this and these music services, I think people are listening to music more again.
Yes, you're right.
Like it used to be.
It's accessible now.
It is. You don't have to have, you know, your whole catalog of CDs and run inside and change and everything else. It's just so much easier.
Yes.
And we're doing it inside, so why not bring it out to the living space outside?
So nice talking to you, Rob. And again, obviously, you can talk to you guys down at East Hamilton Radio and get yourself hooked up with some music this summer.
We'll answer all your questions for you.
Very good. Thank you. All right, we'll back with more TERRA at Home right after this.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Colleen from TERRA, outside enjoying the beautiful weather and giving us other options for planting.
Definitely, there's lots of options, especially for vertical planting when you don't have a whole lot of space.
Yeah, so we're hearing a lot about vertical planting, and again, as you said, particularly when you don't have a lot of space, you can create the most beautiful gardens, but going this way.
Exactly.
So,
So basically what we're doing is taking different size pots and stacking them together so that you get more plant space for the square space.
Like that idea. It's pretty neat. So
Yeah.
you actually have one in behind you here that gives us, look at how many different types of plants you can use.
This is all perennials. So the nice thing about this, and it's all mostly shade plants as well, so it can go in shady spots. The one that we're going to be building is going to go in for the sun. And this one here, it does actually come apart too, because you're just layering everything on. You can take it apart if you're going to move or if you want to overwinter things in the garage as well.
Right, because a lot of people would look at that and say, wow, that would be so heavy. But you build it, leave it in one spot, and
Yes.
then, as you say, take it apart if you need to.
Exactly.
That's great. And it just, the variety of plants that you can use is awesome. So as you say, if it's a perennial, then yes, you want to be, hopefully you can overwinter it and have it for next year.
Exactly.
Right, okay, so you're going to build one for us right now, but you're going to use tropicals for this one.
Yes, it's a little bit of combination. There's tropicals, I've got some annuals, and I have a couple perennials in there as well.
Nice, okay.
So the first start is taking a couple pots. The key is to making it look good is to get pots that coordinate together.
Sure.
So we've actually taken a set of two. So this is going to be just a two-tiered one. And we've taken another pot and turned it upside down. So this is what's going to support the top pot.
Okay, okay.
And then I've already started with some soil. You can put some gravel in the bottom if you have a really deep pot, or even the foam chips that you have for packaging.
Right.
And that provides a little bit of less weight too, and you don't have to buy as much soil.
That's always good, and so you're creating that good drainage in there as well. Because I was
Yes.
thinking, you know, when you're stacking pots like this, you want to make sure that you are providing good drainage for both. You don't want the top one to be dead or the bottom one to be dead while the other one's flourishing. So.
Yeah, so that's important too when you're picking the plants. Make sure that they all kind of have the same needs, just like you would in any other planter. Make sure that, you know, if they all like dry soil, that you pick them all the same, or if they all like to be wet, so that they kind of are coordinating together.
Yes. Okay.
So we're going to start off with these here beside you. These are called crotons. So this is a tropical plant that is great outside as well as inside.
Yes, I've had one of these inside, and they grow so lovely, and they have such a nice variation in color.
And so when you're planting them, I'm just going to be kind of angling them out a little bit, because when we put the pot in the middle, you don't want to smush too much
kind
stuff.
of getting it that direction. Okay. Very nice. But it's amazing how it's like, why didn't I think of this before? When you look at something like that and how you can do this is just a fantastic idea.
Definitely. And then little annual color. These are actually marigolds, but you can use sunflowers or anything else. You can use mums in the fall.
Sure.
So you can make it seasonal.
Oh, that'd be nice.
You could do this in the spring and do it with all bulbs and tulips and daffodils and pansies and all that kind of stuff. You can see that these are quite root bound, so you just want to loosen up the roots.
Okay.
You can be ruthless with them.
Yeah, a lot of people think that they're damaging the plant when they're really breaking up the root.
No,
like
it'll
that.
actually promote more root growth by doing it that way. So in the essence of time, I'd put another one back here just to balance it.
Right.
And then you top it up with the soil, and then next is you put your pot on top of that. And these all have drainage holes in them. So what you do to make it a little bit more secure, just take a dowel or rebar and put it down the center of the pot, and that'll hold it all together.
That's great, yeah.
So that helps that way.
It's amazing sometimes the high winds we can get around the escarpment areas, and that it just pushes through. And
Definitely.
something you think is so heavy can all of a sudden be, smashed on your patio. So.
And just fill it up with just again potting mix, because you do want to use a lightweight soil.
Yep.
And I haven't filled it up all the way, because when I start putting in these things, then you will be adding some more soil to it. So I'll start off with a centerpiece. So I'm going to put in nice sunflower.
Oh, how nice. And so again, with the draining, obviously, you are going to get a bit of drainage coming from this one down into this one, but you really probably are going to be watering these separately as well. You want to make sure this one's getting it.
Yeah, treat them like two planters when you're watering, when you're fertilizing, because they do have kind of their own little system going on in there. And these ones here are gaillardias.
Okay.
So these are a perennial, but you may also find them as an annual.
Oh, right, yes. So it's just being creative with what you like, and as you say, just making sure that they are under the same, like to have the same water and the same, sun or shade.
Exactly. And then to coordinate with the ones on the bottom, I've just picked some smaller crotons.
Oh, cool.
In a different color.
And this is actually something that's quite nice that can take us from, that mid-late summer into fall, because it does carry a lot of those colors.
Definitely.
So this would be one of those ones, if you only want to plant one, this is beautiful right all the way through.
And the hot trend colors this year too, like everybody loves the oranges and the reds, like the really rich, deep colors.
Throw some bales of hay or straw
Yeah,
around.
you've got
and,
everything ready for
and
fall.
you got some pumpkins, and all of a sudden you've just taken this right into fall.
And normally you'd put just one kind of centerpiece, but I'm also putting in this grass. This is a carex grass, and it's got that rusty color to it, but it adds a little bit of extra texture.
Yes, it does, yeah.
While still giving some height.
Well, that's the thing. You could do this all in just all whites or all just greens. Lots of just different color leaves. It doesn't even have to be flowers, right? And
Definitely.
or grasses,
Lots
all
of different textures.
Yeah. And because, again, that overhanging, you could have some certain plants that would actually hang right over the pots and trail down.
Yeah, you could use ivies, you could use like the annual portulacas or anything like that too. Would be just stunning.
Oh, nice.
So as you can see, in short order,
yeah, just like that,
put a planter together pretty quick.
Yep, this is great.
So fertilize and water as you would any other planter.
So again, just looking for pots as well that, you know, so many different types of pots, but look around and make sure as you're choosing, as you say, the core dating is quite nice. Do what you like, but making sure that when you are buying your pot that you have one that's slightly smaller that you can work with. I mean, you could do 2 of these if you have a big epic front entrance or...
And the other thing to keep in mind too is that when you're choosing a set, make sure that when you stack them like this, that you're going to have enough space to plant your plants.
Yes.
Because I was going to do another one on top of this, but there wasn't enough space to put the pot in. So this one just turned into a 2-tier.
Sure. So it depends how big your base plant pot is, but you could tier it right up.
You could have, you know, a bigger pot under this and have it like, you know, 6 feet tall.
Oh, nice. That's great.
So you have lots of fun with it. And
so when you are taking these in, if you were dealing with perennials and you're taking these in, so you could separate the pots and just bring them in and make sure they're protected. In the winter when you're dealing with perennials, would you cut them all back down inside or what would you do?
Usually when I bring my perennials in, I let them get hit with frost first. Okay. And then I'll just bring them into, I have an unheated garage, but it's more the consistent temperature to make them last over the winter.
Okay.
If you leave them out, particularly with pots like this too, you don't want to leave the pots out, even if they're
can
frost
crack, right?
resistant. Cold winters that we've had, the freezing and the thawing, that doesn't do them very good.
You walk out and your pots are not in good shape, and there is sometimes a big investment, right? Your pots in there, and they add so much character to what you're doing. They are part of, you know, what creates that look.
And if you do have to leave them out, make sure that the bottom pot is lifted up off of your concrete patio or your deck, because that helps the water drain away. So that it's not sitting in the water and it actually dries out a little bit more, so that you're not going to get that ice build up underneath.
Right.
There are other options too. You can go with some like plastics. There's some really good quality plastics out there, fiberglass that
really
can
nice
be left outside, and you can do layers in those ones as well.
Okay.
And some of these tropical ones, you could even bring this one inside and treat it as a tropical planter in your house.
How perfect. Yeah, there you go. Now you're using it all year round.
Exactly.
Thanks, Colleen. Great ideas. Try this at home. This is fun. Lots and lots of fun. That's it for now. We'll have more Terra home to come.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're here with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra Restaurant in Hamilton, and you have a giant piece of meat before us.
Yeah, we're going to do a grilled sirloin with grilled radicchio. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. I mean, a lot of people use radicchio or have eaten radicchio in salads and stuff like that.
Right.
Use it. It works really well as a bowl if you want to use it as a cup and put, you know, different ingredients in the middle. But a lot of people don't cook with it, and it's actually really, really nice to cook with as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we thought I'd do something a little bit different. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, cut it in half. And I've left the core on, okay? Because this is what's going to keep this together for us. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to end up with leaves everywhere.
Right.
And you're going to make it nice and chunky.
So you're grilling like a wedge of it.
A wedge.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to grill a whole wedge. what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those on dry, and then I'm going to drizzle it with some oil, some salt, and some pepper while it's on the grill. Now, again, you would use this on your actual barbecue, but we don't have one, so you could use a grill pan the way we're doing it today.
So question about radicchio is, I find sometimes it can be quite bitter, and then other times it's not. So is there a secret to knowing which is which, or does it matter when you're grilling it?
It will sweeten up slightly while you're grilling it, okay? But radicchio, if it's in season, is very, very sweet. Okay, it's when it's out of season, when it starts pulling in, they pick it a little bit too early. So you tend to, I mean, it's easy to grow in your own garden. And if you grow it, you want them nice and large. Now you can either use this one or the other one, the longer one, the Treviso radicchio. Similar taste. Treviso tends to be a little bit sweeter, I find, than this radicchio, but not much difference. But again, if it's in season, it tends to be better than
that's probably
outside
why
of season.
I've noticed the difference then. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna grill that. While that's grilling, I'm gonna season our steak. So we have some kosher salt, and I'm gonna put that on, and I'm gonna do it fairly heavily on both sides.
Why are you using kosher salt instead of regular salt? Just for, people at home are watching this saying, why?
And you know what, when I do my cooking classes, we do what we call the salt test. So I'll put out iodized salt in one bowl, I'll put out kosher salt in another bowl, and I'll put sea salt out, and everybody tries them. And what it is with kosher salt is there's no iodine in it, okay? So it's not iodized salt. It's very similar in taste to sea salt. The only difference is with sea salt, because sea salt has minerals in there, there are variations, where kosher salt pretty much tastes the same no matter which brand you buy, whatever you buy it.
So you're getting a good, you know what you're dealing with as a chef, it's consistent.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. So, and I like to use, now you don't use kosher salt on everything, if you're boiling water, potatoes, stuff like that, you want to use just your iodized salt. But whenever it's a finished product like the radicchio itself or the steak, we definitely go to the kosher salt.
Okay.
It's just a more natural flavor. And I do suggest buy a box, take it home, try it. Try the kosher salt first and then the iodized salt, and you'll see why, and it'll make sense in your mind as to which one to use when. All right. We'll throw some pepper on this. The other thing I did ahead of time, brown butter. Now, a few shows back we did brown butter, and I think I showed you how to make that. So we clarified some butter, browned it up. You get that nice nuttiness. Send it through a coffee filter to get all the impurities out of it, okay? And that's what you end up with. Bacon. Bacon's good. And the reason why we're bringing bacon, this will also help add a little bit more fat to the radicchio, because the radicchio has no fat other than the oil we added. So this will help balance that out as well.
That'll be good.
All right. So we did a light grill on those. You can see they're starting to turn brown. That's what you're looking for.
Like a grilled Caesar salad before, so you've grilled romaine or that type of thing, right? But I haven't had this, so this would be nice to try. Yeah,
we just did a promotion at the restaurant where the salad that we did was grilled.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I like it. Again, very similar to grilled lettuces and leaves.
Right, it smells good. But a lot of people associate, as you say, like greens with fresh, and you wouldn't think to get it near any kind of heat at all.
Exactly. But it does. It changes the flavor. It's nice. Yeah, we might as well plate this. So I'm going to put the radicchio onto the plate. Okay. And the way I'm doing this is I'm going to do it in a little fan. And then what we're going to do is we're going to finish cooking the steak, and when we're done cooking the steak, I'm going to fan it over top, and then we're going to add in a little bit more fat, and then we're going to zest it with some lemon and all good stuff.
Nice.
But this is a thick piece of meat, so it's going to take us a few minutes to cook this one down.
It absolutely is.
My butcher, I asked him for 6 to 7 ounces, and I guess he knows what kind of an eater I am, so he decided that's not enough.
Way more than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's just for us. So again, the trick with a steak like that, so you're trying to make the cross marks there, right?
Yeah.
With the grill, obviously, if you're using a barbecue, same effect.
Same thing.
So you were keeping it for how long? You're doing a meat like a medium rare right now?
This will be rare to medium rare when we're done, and I like to, especially because we're going to be fanning it. I'm not going to be putting that whole piece on the way it is, because we're going to be fanning it on top of that. I tend to undercook it, because what ends up happening is, even if once you let it rest and everything like that, it will still bleed out a bit. So it's going to change. It's going to go up one color. So if you pull it off at rare, By the time you slice it and everything like that, it's
Okay.
probably closer to a medium rare.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
we are going to do it a little underdone,
All right.
and then it'll show up medium rare to medium rare on the plate.
Because you really, you didn't leave it on there for long before you kind of picked
No.
it up and crossed it over
Yep.
to create those lines. And then, so how much per side?
At this thickness, if you wanted to get it medium rare, I would say you're probably looking at about 4 to 5 minutes on
Okay.
direct heat. See, I
Right,
have it over a
direct.
pan, so it's going to make a
Exactly.
difference on your
It's going to make a
barbecue.
difference on a barbecue.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of people who will know how they like their steaks at home.
And
but
there is
you-
a trick. Did
there
I
is.
ever show you the trick?
You should tell everybody because it's.
Yes.
I have learned this.
Yes.
This is good.
So the meaty part of your thumb, okay, if you push on it, acts very similar to cooking temperatures of meat.
Right.
So you're looking at a rare, medium rare as you pinch the first two. Medium, you'll start to see it firms up. Medium well, and if you pinch your pinky finger and your thumb, it gets really firm. That's well
Wow.
done. This is
So
gonna
that means you actually have to touch your steak.
you have to touch your
Yeah.
steak. You have to give it a
You
little
have to-
poke.
But it actually really does work though. It's pretty.
does. It's pretty
neat.
close.
It's neat.
It is pretty close.
Good little tricks.
Yeah, it is a
tricks
nice
of the
little
trade. All right, so this is good. So what we'll do is we'll continue to cook this steak up over
Yeah.
the break, and look how nice that looks. And then we'll come back and we'll slice it and fan it out and do all the little bits to make it look so pretty and taste good. We'll be right back.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
The Hamilton Spectator. At work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. Back with Chef Mark, and our steak is officially complete.
Officially
Looks
complete?
good.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna slice this nice and thin, and we'll fan it on top.
Okay. So obviously you want to time your radicchio so you're grilling it and having your steak done at the same time.
Relatively
Right.
the same time. If it's a little bit cooler, it's not a big deal. But yeah, we'll put that right on top. Show the color on it. There we go.
Oh, that was good.
Then we're gonna take
Oh, yes.
some of this brown butter
Oh,
and I'm gonna spread that on. And it's gonna
That-
melt as it sits on that plate.
it's so dangerous.
There we go.
Just a reminder, you can find this recipe on our website at terragreenhouses.com.
We're gonna add
Bacon.
bacon, and then just to balance that whole thing, we're gonna zest our lemon.
Right, because you've got a good share of fat there, right? So
There's
you
a
need to
lot
have
of
some
fat.
of that acid.
Yep.
That's
and you
the
do
rule,
want
right?
it. Yep.
It's amazing how just a little bit of lemon zest can make such a difference.
It makes a big difference.
Huge flavor.
And it doesn't, doesn't need a lot. It does balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it gives a little bit of freshness for the summertime for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw a couple lemon slices on there.
Why not? And it's such a really nice idea to grill some of your greens and try them out. It actually is a really great flavor. And you're not going to wreck them. It's just a leaf, right? So you
That's
just
it.
have to make sure that your grill is oiled, right?
You want it oiled, yeah. See,
Okay.
this was a non-stick pan, so it worked out really well. But on
Sure.
your barbecue, definitely just brush it down with a little bit of oil.
Okay, and keep on top of it, and
That's it.
and you
Something
just
different.
It's fun. I like it. It's very good. It smells great. Can't wait to try it. Thank you so much, Chef Mark. And again, try this yourself this weekend. Have yourself a good one.